Oh, thank you for saying something, Magnus. I was curious. All right. Sorry about everybody. Or sorry about that, everybody. I've been responding to you for the last 5 minutes, or 3 minutes, I guess. Sorry, because I was recording, my microphone was plugged into my other computer. But buenas tardes, and enjoy the game, Leandro. That's awesome. Welcome, everybody. But thank you, Ego. I appreciate that. I'm doing well. Had a good day. Welcome, Hilgen, Jency. Sunday. Nice. Congrats on spot. Yeah, sorry about that, y'all. The game sound should be on. Does look kind of low, but you should be able to hear something. Hey, buddy, you want to throw a special? Can hear the game sound fine. Good. Cool. Thank you. Haven't adjusted it recently. Yeah. Like he's not really a problem anywhere that you can plan for him, Jency, but he's got some threats for sure. I forgot that this synergy gave him bleeds, so that's really good. Alright, come here, buddy. I don't have a strong reason to vote for Brazil or Norway, but hope you enjoy the game. I wish you luck, Clem, but anybody's getting rigged, it would be really nice for me to finally get first appearance on one of my kids. Gotta happen eventually, right? Medusa, would you be so kind? Hey, Silver. To pity on the 7-star, but not the feature. Saving that poll. Yeah, I am sitting on my Warlock crystals because I think my pity's at 49. And if I got first appearance Warlock, that'd be cool. But I don't want to reset that to 120. Continuing the theme of Drax being really impressed by Thor is funny. Do I only go for one champ copy? Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, I would love to go for more, but that's too rich for my blood. Whoops, forgot about that. Excuse me. Rude. Just pull the more than once easy. Hey, if it just happens to happen, um, within the units I've got, maybe a few early access bundles, then cool. You will not see me complaining. But I am not holding my breath. It is so difficult to cleanly parry Hood's special one for me. I think it's doable, but the spacing is tricky. Hey, welcome. It's going good. I haven't started watching season 2 yet. No. It's on the list. ¿Cómo puedo avisar o reportar que no podemos? Oh, if you can't say anything in global chat, you've probably been banned for something, in which case it's kind of out of my hands. You can submit a support ticket, but I don't know what our policy is for easing former bans. Nice. I really hate clean slate. I'll stick to bong. Evening, evening, KJ. Ooh, his armor might make this dumb. I might be about to take a special 3. Let's find out. Nah, we're good. A natural Sig 200 first appearance Storm. That's really cool, dude. I'm jealous of that. She was the one I wanted the most from that box. Hey, Real Love, I appreciate that. Thank you very much for the kind words. And for the, what is that, yen? No, rupees? Ugh, I'm so bad with currencies. I'll check it out a little bit, but regardless, thank you. That's rupees, isn't it? I need to look after I finish the fight. Bad time. That was stupid. His heavy is so difficult to cleanly do. There we go. Welcome, Jonathan. If I feel comfortable answering, if not, let's see. Will Jabari's ensnare stop his evade? Yes, it's not ability accuracy based. Ensnare does reduce general ability accuracy, but it also just stops evades. Hey, Avi, welcome. Appreciate it. Okay, yes, it was. Appreciate you. Okay, continuing on. Happy Sunday, Chris. Hi, Stilly. I hope you enjoy her. I keep pushing opponents to special 3 on accident. I completely understand that. Back when I played Ghost a lot more often, I would probably at least once a week find myself starting some kind of EQ fight or something, just getting hit in the face because I thought that I had a phase up. He said that as though he should be impressed. It's funny. Okay, we can just end it here. That's fine too. Advice on how to play Cassie. She seems to have a lot of moving pieces. I'm struggling to figure out how to line them all up. You want to get the opponent in the corner. Is kind of the biggest piece of advice for Cassie because that makes everything else easier. It also makes it easier to specifically just do her heavy charge out of nowhere and get some misses and power stings off of it. Your default should be just spamming special 1. And when you have the fuel for it and the animations line up, you want to be looking for places to charge heavy at the end of an opponent's special, kind of like Tigra, so that you can then punish it with the heavy. That makes sense. I got you, Dilly. Yeah, I think there'll be some other good ones. Dang it, I hate that. It's like perfectly placed to catch you in the animation. Was not expecting that. Brutal intercept there, bro. I really thought he was blocking. Oh, get bent, Dracula. I did see someone mention Pixie, and I think that's a pretty hard counter if she fits. I'm on record as absolutely hating fighting Dracula. If we had actually gone all out on making him a defender, he would have been so toxic. Just finished watching your video on Black Tarantula. It looks awesome. I do absolutely need a mutant with an evade counter. Um, it doesn't necessarily need to be a mutant with an evade counter. It's just that if it's not a mutant, the evade counter can't be ability accuracy. Right? And if you're using a mutant, they don't necessarily need to have an evade counter, but you will need to play around it and you'll want some kind of prowess, right? There are a number of good ones, both in and outside of mutant, but yeah, he's tough. Oh, don't be mean, Dilly. Pixie's good. I should be sidestepping against this guy. That was too easy. Never mind. Jerk. Yeah, I said months ago I am ready for Cat Murdoch to probably not speak to me for a week or so after Tarantula comes out because he is annoying on defense. But c'est la vie. Yeah, Danny's another one that does really well. Cyclops isn't bad, yeah. I've seen the fight go wrong, but True Focus helps a lot, as does Prowess. Welcome, Blue. Yeah, I think he will definitely stack some bodies early on, Johnson. Wow. He did the thing. I shall have to find one of those for my contest. That's funny. Woo! That heavy almost got me. There we go. Oh, that's so annoying. I hate when they do that. That would have been such a satisfying special too. Not really, Eddie. No, I probably should be, but I'm not big on sports in general. I will watch it socially with friends, and I enjoy it, but it's not really something I seek out. All right, Cosmics with dots and armor breaks. Thanos will take a while. Let's do Medusa. Why would he need that, Wolva? Like, you ask, like, why was he not given it? Why should he have been given it? Right? You haven't even tested him yet. You have no idea how effective he is. We could give every single champion we release starting charges in battlegrounds, an ability to ramp into Necropolis fights, and then also a way to carry that progress over into future fights, right? We could do that on literally everybody, but like, you've seen The Incredibles, right? If everybody's special, then no one will be. That's not what we're doing here. I just don't think he needs that at all. Like, his purpose wasn't to blow through EQ. And he ramps just fine. He's not going to have any problem in Necropolis style content. Yeah, my Venom's only rank 3, but that's very true. Welcome. Yeah, this Scream Chase is going to be interesting. I don't... Squad Builder's such a tough one. Like, I don't expect to get A2, but I hope we at least get the A1. I think that's probably not going to be too tough. Long overdue. I see you've been on the forums recently, Jancy. This wasn't really a bright idea, was it? I was like, cool, anti-unstoppable, and I want to use Bill, and then I just forgot about the rest of this. Okay. A one-shot's a one-shot. Dang. I was expecting to have to throw 2 of those. All right, let's see what this actually looks like. Yeah, I think this is my first time using Bill since I ranked forward him the other day. It's been a while. I missed him. Took Havoc to rank 5, and he's been absolutely killing it. That's cool. I've always had a soft spot for Havoc. I do feel like he's aged, but I don't think he's ever aged out of being good. Maybe we don't use the power gainers against Joe just in case. Noticed in my video that I mentioned him countering untouchable. Is that specific wording on purpose, or does it actually counter any miss effect? It is specifically untouchable. Yeah. So like it works against Photon, obviously, like I called out. It works against Spot. It works against nodes that grant untouchable. Trying to remind myself who else has it. I know it's largely science. Hmm, that's not right. Yeah, I'll deal with that later. Yeah. Yeah, Shuri would be another one. Invisible Woman's is specifically invisibility. And she's really trying to confuse you there. Yeah, Enchantress is another one. Afternoon, Floyd. Welcome. There's more Mojo to Jojo of Mo to Joe to go Mojo. Okay, that's silly. Whoops. A good relic interaction. Sure. What are you looking for? This freaking infuriate is gonna tilt me so much. I just already know it. What a stupid champion. What if a Cosmic just had better offensive ability accuracy reduction than most of the tech class? Forever. As a passive. Or sorry, not as a passive, but like as a rider on another effect. Does he need it? Absolutely not. Hmm. Yeah. I enjoy squad a little bit of squad builder. I don't think I enjoy enough squad builder to go after what you call it, to go after Scream, but we shall see. Oh, if there ever strays aimed at Hercules, then I haven't been clear enough in my intent. He deserves everything. Oh, are hers old enough that they affect ability power rate? That's annoying. I had MSD test this and confirmed it on stream, but basically Gentle benefits a lot from the Gambit Relic. Yeah, I'm aware of that. Yeah, because the burst gets amplified by the Daunted. No, you absolutely can't, Udyed, because Serpent was actually intended to be annoying on defense, and the ways in which he's annoying on defense are class appropriate. He didn't just randomly take a shot at the tech class identity because, I don't know. There's really no way to justify that Rider of Infuriate on him. I know you're not like trying to attack, but like it's not the same thing. That call has aged so poorly. Yeah, that was my fault. I don't think it's actually getting multiplied, Arch. I think what you may be picking up on is just when two damaging effects are in the same frame, they usually get added together by the computer. So I think what you're seeing is the burst from the relic being combined with the burst from the reverb. And so it's not actually being amplified that much, right? It's just that Gentle is built around big bursts and they get combined with the relic. I think I said combined too many times, but I think you follow me. Don't think I've ever seen you discuss Herc, but I'm getting the sense you're not his biggest fan. He's just like that. It's been a while since I've said this, so let me do the full version of it. I think that Hercules is like actually a work of art buried in googly eyes and glitter. He like there is something cool in there. And it's under a mountain of childish nonsense. Like building a character around intercepts is cool. Building a character around anything even kind of close to an intercept and then telling players that it's an intercept when it's not cool, right? Very strong AI manipulation to benefit that. I can deal with that. That AI manipulation also coming with really strong offensive ability accuracy reduction for reasons? No. Like, so much about him is uninteractive and just unnecessary. And there's so many overlapping levels of things that make him too resilient. And the thing that bothers me the most about him is that it really feels like the designer was intending to make him that resilient, right? This is not a character where it's like, well, I mean, we talked about this the other day, right? Serpent is a bit too strong on offense. Most of the reason Serpent is too strong on offense is because some stuff from his defensive kit is bleeding over, right? That's not the case with Hercules. He was very clearly an attacker primary. And a lot of the reasons that he's annoying on defense are because he's too protected on offense. That's like a different kind of sin. Like, I think there are cool design ideas in Hercules. The same way I think there are cool ideas in pretty much everything that that designer did, right? They were very talented. But I also think that they kind of hated the idea that someone in the future would mess with their stuff and counter their characters. And that is exactly the opposite of how you should be approaching design in this game. It's fine to make your characters strong. It's fine to put some resilience in there. It's fine to give them strengths in new and exciting ways that allow for player discovery. All of those things are good. But you should be intentionally building your characters in a way that someone in the future can find a chink in their armor. And it feels like Hercules was built the other way around, to have as much overlapping armor as possible. So if somebody stopped him one way, he could just go around and attack them from a different one. Like, people talk about, oh yeah, the immortality just shouldn't pause and then he's fine. That's not the only problem. That's not even close to the only problem. Hmm. I follow what you're saying, Arch. I think the other thing you might be missing is I'm pretty sure the burst damage from the Gambit relic is based on it's not actually a flat number. It's showing you that number based on the character's attack, but it's based on their base attack. And I think what you might be forgetting is that Gentle gains a lot of extra attack for having muscle mass. So like that's a times two, right? And then with his Daunted, that's another what, like 120 or so. So there might be something else going on there, but I think like yeah, that's my expectation. I am having trouble getting to times 8, I'm not gonna lie. But times 4 at least is pretty easy. Because doubled attack. Oh, there's also some from Unstoppable, right? He gets raw attack that way. And then if you're running recoil, which you often do with Gentle, then that would be even more. Yeah, that might get up to times 8. Yeah, because the Daunted's pretty big. How does Herc intercept not count as a normal intercept? So Herc is capable of doing actual intercepts, but he also gives himself credit for a bunch of other things and says they count as intercepts. Yeah, no, I understand you've been looking at it, Arch. I suspect that Gentle's attack rating is the rest of the difference. Um, but I also agree with you. I think Hercules' stun immunity is one of the more egregious things that he has, right? Because it's not a passive, it's not a buff. and it's his core piece of ramp. So of course he's always going to have it. It's like that's the problem is if you build utility into your core system of like everything else in this kit relies on this, you should kind of expect to have that utility at all times. And I'm sorry, I will come back to you in a second, Jonathan. But you should kind of expect to have that utility at all times because naturally the rest of the kit is going to want you to have that resource, right? Like with Serpent, it takes you a while to get your Coal Force charges online, but you should assume that Serpent will get his Coal Force charges online offensively, right? You should assume that Serpent will have Pierce. You should assume that Serpent will have energy resistance. And those actually take a while to get online. Hercules gets his stun immunity immediately when he has any strength. And when he's stun immune, he only loses one strength, right? It might be defensible if he lost all. The way that Nova loses his entire thing if he ends up doing his auto block, right? Like if you compare those two champions, you get an idea of what I mean with just how redundant the safeguards are on the guy. It doesn't make any sense. And yeah, Gensi has another one. Like a very high or a very low crit rate, depending on what you want, is such an underrated form of flexibility. But back to Jonathan's thing. So Hercules is actually lying to you about what a special intercept is. Hercules will say that you special intercepted if your special strikes the opponent during their medium or dash, which is what an intercept actually is, or for whatever the entire animation after that ends up being, right? That's the difference. To actually land an intercept, you need to interrupt their medium. For Hercules to give you credit for intercepting, you just need to be within one animation of that. Not a set amount of time, right? Not like a 0.1 seconds or whatever, which we have used in some other places, right? There are a number of characters in the game that give you an extra tenth of a second to count as a punish or something, right? That is excusable. It's a set, standardized, relatively amount of time. Hercules just says, get whatever the whole thing after that is. Like, what's an animation between friends? That means, let's use an extreme example here. If Hercules is fighting Northstar, and Northstar has finished his entire medium, and is in the middle of the third hit of his first light, and that's when the special hits the opponent, Hercules goes, yep, totally intercepted him, bro. Gotcha. That is egregious. Yeah, a rank 5 Gambit Relic is very good for Gentle. I don't think Doom is as dangerous as Hercules, but he is definitely dangerous. I think the biggest things about Doom are his power control. His loop is very resilient. And his base stats. Like, people focus on a lot of things for Doom, but they don't talk enough. Sorry, 1 second. They don't talk enough about just how busted it is for somebody to have, I think, either the highest or like top 5 highest base armor in the game when you're also armor break immune and have by far the highest crit resist in the game. It doesn't make any sense. Like, it's so redundant, right? Doom is so tanky. And in a way that is just not very interactive. I agree, he's not as bad as Hercules, but he is very, very strong. He's eventually going to be good. How's it going, dude? I agree. I also think his fury is too strong, especially given that it stacks for how resilient his power control loop is, right? Like, Broccoli went out of his way to reinforce and protect the Doom cycle very on purpose. And for doing that, you get a character who at time of release had the highest base attack in the game, getting a more than 100% fury buff that he can keep up indefinitely and stack. Why? It's too many eggs in one basket. Calling Mojo a spider potato is very interesting. You're a foodinator. We love a Dungeon Crawler Carl reference. Indeed. Relics make a lot of characters that were just too strong really insane. Hey, Fivesy, how's it going, dude? I'm glad you're liking the look of him. I'm definitely excited to have him come out. Yeah. And for what it's worth, I've said before, like, there is value in a game like this in there being outliers, right? It can excite people. Oops. Okay. My Elgato is freaking out a little bit. Like, it can excite people. It can lead to some more money. It's just that, like, it needs to be in a way that you can design around in the future. And that's why I was saying um earlier that, like, as you are trying to build your powerful, exciting characters, you should be intentionally leaving multiple Achilles heels in them. And, like, with Doom, the one thing kind that I can say about him in that regard is that he has a small health pool. And that means that people that just do a, like, chunks of damage to him, something like thorns or whatever, do hurt him. And that helps, right? That's the kind of thing we can do to slow him down. But Hercules doesn't have that. And guess what? Also, because he has poison resistance, he has constant healing. Because that's really what one of the best nukes in the entire game needed. Silly, silly champion. Yeah, there's a reason we didn't build a battle cast to make armor breaks better. It absolutely would have just been a, hey, look at the Cosmic Ghost Rider Battlecast. I feel marginally better about the 5 skill gems. Sorry about that, but happy to give you some hope there. Hey, Justin, welcome. Thanks for being a loyal attendee. My grandfather was from Nicaragua, so was that second generation? I my Spanish is recovering. I was close to fluent in high school, but my grandfather didn't speak it in the home, so my dad is not fluent, and so he never spoke it around us. I am by far the most comfortable with Spanish in my family, but I'm trying to hold on to it, and I want to pass it on to my own kids. But yeah, I'm just a quarter. I don't look it, right? Like, I'm also a quarter Dutch, and so I look very white. But in at least some ways, white passing Hispanic is still Hispanic. I just gotta acknowledge my privilege, right? That's how that works. Whoops. It happens sometimes where I think I'm in and I'm not. Chink of armor that Hercules has is that his design overused, especially to the greater community hating him. I think that might be overstated. I do think a lot of people just enjoy him, right? Because it is fun to be powerful. A fair chunk of the endgame community is definitely tired of him. But I don't know that he is actually hated. Which makes it complicated, right? Because I do think he needs some kind of rework to be responsible. And that's not me, like, guaranteeing that he won't be released without a rework, but I hope he's not. And that is definitely going to bother some people. Because there are a lot of people who still, like, they don't really acknowledge how busted he is. And because there are so many overlapping ways in which he's busted, it's difficult for the casual observer to really grasp the whole thing. Exactly, bitter. As you missed me say earlier, but I was like, I think that Hercules is a work of art covered in googly eyes and glitter. Like, there's something cool in there, but that shouldn't have been how it went out the door. Have I seen anything about the Radiance Mastery Point being bugged? I have not. I have seen people think it's bugged because it's an item that goes into your inventory and they don't realize that they have to go activate it, so maybe double check on that. But I haven't heard anything beyond that. Yeah, I mean, I can't, I don't get to decide what happens in the game, and, you know, product needs are product needs, but I really don't want 7-star battlecasts. Their abilities are so warping. Like the discussion we were having about the Gambit relic. What the heck does a 7-star Gambit battlecast look like on Gentle? I don't think that's a healthy thing. And it's hard for me to imagine a world in which we do release 7-star battlecasts, but also nerf all of the battlecasts. Like, that would be the healthier thing. But if we end up releasing 7-star battlecasts, it's probably because we're trying to sell them, and it's difficult to sell something you just nerfed. And ain't that just the rub in a nutshell there? It was a Legend title called Conduit of Revenge, released back in 2022, 2023, for people who managed to clear 25 zones of Sector 6, and you got it with a 4-star Hercules. Yep, I remember that. That is literally the Legends title that made a lot of people stop caring about it, unfortunately. I mean, that's the thing, KJ, is that I think Herc could still be super, super fun with like 3 of his 7 sets of training wheels taken off, right? He could still be stronger than most champions, stronger than almost all champions, and still really fun because there is cool stuff in there. But I think that yeah. I think we could have the cool stuff again if he was just in a healthier spot. I mean, you would release a different set of 7-star Battlecast? Ah, I understand. Yeah. The design process for them sucked. It's tricky because I don't think any of the Battlecasts, I don't think any of the batches of Battlecasts really got enough time, in the oven, so to speak. And like that's not a shot at their designers. I don't think they were given enough time. We knew Hulk would be good. I think it was probably it's probably stronger than we expected. I do remember calling out that I was not happy with the way that the Venom Relic gave crit rating at the time, but like I was also a very new designer then, so I don't think I really had the words to articulate how much of a problem I felt like it was, and I think I was right, but like I only get so many points for that, right? We've all been right and wrong. Yeah, I don't know. Battlecasts were very, very difficult to design, and every new battlecast that shipped made designing champions harder, right? Because you have to try and watch for things like Paviter plus Iron Fist, and that's hard. And hey, Allison, how do you do? I'm really glad you're liking the look of him. Yeah, that's another example of just like overprotecting things, Arch. Like, it's cool that his special gives him the indestructible because it lets you do the cool gameplay thing of pushing the opponent indestructible and then allowing yourself to tank it so that, ooh, you get knocked down and you get your extra feats of strength. That's a way for him to get all 3. And that lets him ramp faster because he's a ramp champion, right? But like that's nonsense because he's not really a crossfight ramp champion. He doesn't need to get 3 feats every fight because he gets to 12 in like 30 seconds regardless. So that's just an example of like something that if there were several other things missing from the kit, his special 3 indestructible I think would make sense. But like I think it should probably be the one that has the clause where like you need to be pushing the opponent to 3 bars of power to get the indestructible, right? And then it needs to go on cooldown so you can't reuse it. Like why does that not have a cooldown? It's one of the only multi-use indestructibles without a cooldown in the entire game for reasons. And it's like, oh, okay, but at least this character does have to earn 3 bars of power. Psych, he has extra combat power rating. Why? Yeah, it's so many levels of training wheels. And you could absolutely make a reasonable Hercules that plays pretty much exactly the same. But this ain't it. Yeah, the Valkyrie relic on Valkyrie is very good. Well, see, that's the thing is Magic I don't think was redeemable with her current kit because basically the only thing in it was just broken power control, the kit. Hercules doesn't need a magic overhaul. Hercules just needs polish. This is starting to inspire me. I don't have time to do this, but I maybe I will finally start working on like what I really think an update to him that was fair would look like. Tarantula has something I wish Ronan always had. Which one in particular? I'm curious. But yeah, I'm glad you like him. It wasn't necessarily an intentional design reference, but evades during specials in skill is going to feel similar. And yeah, like as Allison knows, I've been a fan of Ronan for a long time. Welcome, Bart. Yeah, exactly. Magic and Quake are problematic because the only thing they have is the problem. Hercules is not that. There's a lot of redeeming qualities in Hercules kit. Stupid slow projectiles. My nemesis. Also, worth saying, it's not an accident that Paviter has such a precise wording for his vulnerabilities because I do think that what Hercules does is fun, right? With the special intercepts. And I wanted to give you some help beyond just asking you to special intercept, but I wanted to be honest about what I was doing for all of the reasons that he isn't. AR evade immunity? Gotcha. Yeah. It's strong. He might not have it if he didn't have defensive goals, I'm going to be completely honest. Yeah, I remember the old days with Quake anti-cheat issues. She's so silly. Okay, hold on. You do specifically need an armor up, right? Yeah. Okay, so Arcade isn't going to do anything for us. The rest of these are going to be fine, although Lady Deathstrike doesn't really want to block, so we probably avoid that. Penny has the power lock, so that's good. Hmm. Let's use the duck. I haven't gotten to use the duck much. He might have been cheating, but it didn't look like it. Yeah, that is the tough part, isn't it? Loose ends tied up or at least burnt off is such a rocket thing to say. That's very good. Check by, pay my full respect to both of you for. I'm glad, dude. I'm glad you're happy with him. Would a second stat focus point like Ascension at like Ascension 6-7 be a good thing? Um, it's an interesting one because honestly, it was my vote instead of ISO Burst for the Ascension gimmick was a second stat focus. It I don't think people understood stat focus well enough at the time for it to be exciting enough to be the correct choice, so I totally understand why we did not go with my vote. um, but I definitely do see value in it, yes. I don't know if I would want it at a higher level of ascension or if at this point it might make more sense for like 8 stars in the future, but maybe someday. Can I clarify if you trigger the evade once during a special, it evades the rest of the special attack? No, it is one evade. Um, so like if photon is not turning off your dexterity, then you want to pick your spots to do the evade, right? Um, I find that still plenty powerful, but you do have to be intentional with it. I'm very strongly opposed to that kind of thing, KJ. It's a very common response, and I think I get the nostalgia in it, right? Like, well, why not just leave them as the 5 stars so we still get to play with the old thing? But the problem is, you have to remember that new players will also pick up the game for the first time. And what would it feel like to pick up the game in 2026 and to play the old Magic kit and decide that she's your favorite character and then get to a 6 star and see something completely different? Same thing with Quake, right? I don't actually think that that is a solve. I think that is bargaining out of the stages of grief and not something we should ever do. Hey, Javi, how's it going, dude? Yeah, exactly, Allison. Like literally just if you can almost do a full dex, like against let's say Bahamut Special 2, then that one evade turns into a full dex. And that's plenty. Pardon me. Oh, I missed the parry. Okay, I'm glad this doesn't cause an infinite loop. I was actually a little bit worried. That her sig plus the way his regen works would infinite loop it. Yeah, it would be good for Winter Soldier as well. And obviously it has a cooldown, you have to earn it back, but yeah, it's very strong. Yeah, it's power budgets should never justify you don't have to play, right? Like there's a reason that extra turn cards in Magic are so problematic. Hey Steve. Welcome, Akshay. Hey Jack, welcome. I have nothing to do in the game at all today. Sorry, Sans. I understand. Happens sometimes. No, that's true, Bart. That just doesn't justify Quake either, right? Because that one thing she does lets her not play the game. That was a late parry by me. There are extra turn cards in Magic, and they call Yu-Gi-Oh crazy. Oh, anyone who calls Yu-Gi-Oh crazy is right. I've read some of those cards. But yes, there are a few Time Walk variants, as they're called, for extra turns. Because the original was called Time Walk. And funnily enough, there is an extra turn card in the current Marvel set because there are a couple different variants of Kang in it, right? And so one of the Kangs has the ability to give yourself an extra turn once, which is very powerful. Oh, yeah, that was just too late on my part. That was apparently also too late. Alright, I am not on top of the parries today, but I'm going to keep going for him. The answer to basically anything that boils down to when are y'all making arenas better is going to be never. By default. Oh, that's funny with werewolves. That's cool. Yeah, I'm well aware of the mastery jokes. As I said in another chat the other day, like disabling a mastery is really no different than making a character bleed immune, and I am tired of giving airtime to the idea that it is. Oh, the extra turn cards aren't particularly common in Magic. They just exist. Exactly, bitter. Competitive Yu-Gi-Oh is just solitaire. That is the impression I've gotten, yeah. I don't know, Steve. I don't know if there's anything going on tomorrow. And I'm well aware, Dragonflies. Yeah. Arena is not fun, but like it's also insane from an economic perspective that it exists. So what are you gonna do? PJF parental loop? Okay, that has to be a reference. I'm looking that up. Is that... Is that a Futurama reference? Philip J. Fry? I knew it! Oh, that's clever. Well done, Vincent. EJF parental loop is so funny. I mean, it totally depends on what format you're talking about, doesn't it, Jency? Then I bought a Towers loadout for another 2,000 arena units, and now I have 39,000 arena units. Yeah. They're big, big dumb. See, that's the thing, Curd, is I know you think that arenas are a net positive for you as a free-to-play player. I don't think they are. And I'm pretty sure the econ team would back me up here. Because the reason that you feel like you need so many units to compete as a free-to-play player is because Arena gives you so many units as a free-to-play player. Okay. But, like, you get what I'm saying, right? The game's economy is balanced around, at least to an extent, the existence of arenas in their current form. If it feels like arenas are necessary for the free-to-play experience, that doesn't actually mean they are. That just means that the balancing is being done correctly. Oh my god. ASAP, am I allowed to make a joke that based on your YouTube handle, it makes sense why you married her then? That's so funny, dude. I guess she got her money's worth then. Cassie, that's very mean. Yeah, Yerisham. Yeah, like I've made this similar point before with revive farming, right? Like it's that ship has largely sailed because the game has moved away for the most part from dumping revives into content, but like people thought that we shouldn't touch revive farms because they needed X number of revives to get through content. But that was because the content was being tuned around the availability of revives, right? Like that's not actually what you need. And I know it's hard to think in terms of those counterfactuals, but that's kind of core to the economy design process. I'm glad you like him the look, Arisha. Hey, Saint. It was extremely stable. I know. But I stand by my point. No, Apocalypse is it is just a bypass. It's not ability accuracy reduction. That's a very it's a very silly ability. It's okay, TC. I'm glad you're excited for both. Thanks, dude. I remember DLL talking about wanting to bring in a South American character that wasn't tied to legally questionable businesses. Yup, still do, but I'll take this for now. I want the Sunday arenas to go away. Yeah, I wouldn't miss them. I think they're just there because there are people who do nothing in this game but play arena. He has that stupid dress node. Oh, frickin', this is what I get for not reading. Throw your special, you big goon. Come on. Yep, that'll do. Hey, thanks for the follow. I love the Alliance Coliseum event. Any Alliance event is fun, in my opinion. It's probably something that also has implications to the overall player base. It'd be interesting to see the percentage of it not in an Alliance. It probably is higher than most think. The find an alliance button that's built into the game is not good. And I think there are probably a lot of players who would be in alliances if it was in better shape. It's just something that we're going to have to clean at some point. Is the clone father. What a word. Blows my mind too, Hilkin. But there are one of the things that checking data for this game does is just really underline that no matter who you are and what you do, there are a lot of people playing this game who don't play it at all the way you do. Yeah, I'm with you there, Sans. Like, I don't play Arena anymore, but I do think that playing Arena back in the day was a significant part of why I'm comfortable with so much of my roster. And I do see, like you said, something similar in Towers. Indeed, I said. Hey, Jude. Learned a lot from playing towers. Yeah, I really enjoy that aspect of the mode. How many arena matches do I have? Yeah, 500k is a good number. I haven't played arena in a long time, but 500k is a lot. Oh my god, you jerk. How dare you use up my armor ups? That's fine. For EQ, I do miss the prestige part that told you what rewards you get at a certain prestige. So that's the thing, and I understand, Steve, but hold on, before I fully finish this, there's 2 points there. One, the rewards were never actually tiered. And one of the reasons we got rid of that is because people were so persistent in the idea that it was tiered. Those were example rewards, and there wasn't actually a discrete, you get this much prestige and then your rewards upgrade, right? Any upgrade in your prestige gave you more rewards. So that misunderstanding was difficult. But also, imagine that still being here and clicking through prestige possibilities that don't actually change the rewards you get, but then clicking through these rewards that do change the rewards you get, right? Sorry, thank you for the highlight. Short version is that like the prestige was never actually tiered. It's continuous, so any prestige upgrade gives you better rewards. But the bigger thing, oh, maybe the ad is still going. Hold on. No, it looks like the ad is done now. Okay. But the bigger thing is that having that dialogue or having that part of the game, the UI, show one toggle or scaler that didn't affect your rewards, and another one, the difficulty selector, that did change your rewards, was just inevitably going to be super confusing. So that's why we removed it, to avoid that confusion. Higher prestige does give you higher rewards. It was just never a tier thing, right? It was never that, like, okay, well, if I do this and my prestige goes up 5 points, that doesn't matter because it doesn't get me to like 2,100, right? So I need 10 points before my rewards go up. No, the 5 points was still good. That's what my point was. Excuse me. Yep, 50 CR is the cutoff. Yeah, if you have a rank up you can do, it will benefit you before the next one. My biggest question mark about my MCOC journey is that during 2014, 2016, I didn't know what masteries were because I was 12. Summoned arena for 1 to 2 years without parry. Yeah, that's pretty wild, dude. The inspiration for my name is that I am tall. See, I mentioned Dutch blood earlier. Um, and so when I was in marching band in high school, I was jokingly called Daddy Longlegs, and I was like, cool, that works as a screen name. As a screen name. I guess it also works as a screen name because of horror movies, but that was a misspeak. Talking about Idum or Starkey. Oh, yeah, 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 I remember that. Yeah, and Idum would definitely be the stronger choice there just for raw prestige. Mm, that's also fair, though, if you want to do that. Oh, yeah, I remember Genser. Oh, did I take my relic off of Idum? I'll have to keep an eye on that. Thank you, I'll look for that. Arcade is so tanky. What exactly are Shatterstar's powers? Is he just a guy with cool knives? He's so like 80s nonsense. His powers are that he's better than you at everything, and I am not really making that up. Also, his name is Gavidra, which is silly. And I don't mean that as an insult if that is a real name, because if it is, it's probably South Asian, but this dude is not South Asian. Where is this? Where are his. Yeah. Superhuman senses, superhuman strength, superhuman speed, superhuman stamina, superhuman reflexes, superhuman agility, enhanced learning capabilities, also known as superhuman learning, regeneration, shockwave generation, portal creation. Yeah. He's just better at everything, is the thing. Like, good for him. I, he's very mojo. His powers are pure 90s nonsense. I'm sorry. So the cocaine had had a few years to settle in from the 80s. Gotcha. Yes, yes, it is. Dragonfly. Microbuff of conventions. 8-bit fanfare is great. That's funny. Nowhere like home. That's cute. Black Tarantula meant to be an attacker. Definitely works a bit both ways. Which would you want more on Storm X? 5-star Storm Relic or 7-star Magneto Relic with Armor Pen? If you only have the 5-star, I might lean the Magneto one, but that's a good question. Because the Storm Relic would be better for her shocks by a good chunk. Alright, bear with me, y'all. We have to claim a zillion milestones. Okay, side note. The fact that these are two different kinds of relic shards and they look exactly the same always throws me so much. Yeah, it's fine. Isn't he stronger? Don't you start with me, Sans. Do I ever get the potion revive bundles from the EQ? I used to. I haven't felt the need for them in a long time, but I used to. They're decent value. What made y'all choose Shatterstar? I have no idea. Oh, actually, I do know one thing, and I realize that not everybody's gonna like this answer, but like, he's a pretty darn good choice for Pride Month. I forget if he was the first. He might have been. Yeah, no. North Star was the first, and we got that already. But Shatterstar was one of the earlier ones, if I remember correctly. Because I don't know if you picked that up. He name dropped his partner as Julio. Generally a man's name. Yeah, so that's one of them. Also just pulled a 7-star Blade. Kind of want to rank 5 Blade, Starkey, and Ghost Rider. I think the trio is pretty good these days. I like to see what I am getting. I agree with you there. I do wish, like, I don't mind claiming a million milestones. I think I just wish that there was like a claim all button that showed all of the things and lined them up and like showed you each one. But the real thing I'm going for there is that I want some kind of claim all or claim multiple so that it stacks the selectors so that I can actually use the multi-select tech. That's the only thing that really sticks out to me. I know you don't want me to say confirmation bias to you, Arishem, but I'm glad, Kurt. I'm glad you're happy with him. Are there 6-star lock champions I would love to see get buffs and released to 7 stars? Yes. Darkhawk has come up before. That would be a fun one. I have a fondness for Darkhawk. He was my first, I think, 5-star rank 5 tech champion. Who else is out there? I never really got into Annihilus, but I understand that people like him. That would be fun. Who else is on this list? Yeah, no, Darkhawk is very strong. I think he would need some adjustments to really make it happen, but that's a whole thing. Yellow Jacket is another one that could definitely get some tweaks. There's some cool stuff in his kit. My vote will always be Icarus. Yeah, phew. Speaking of somebody who needs some cleanup, but I get it. There's some cool things there. Nebula is a weird one because we're talking about characters that need a buff for a release, and Nebula is still one of the highest DPS characters in the entire game. Anyone have any pointers for Defect and Slay the Spire 2? I feel like I'm falling behind. Um, don't be afraid of creating statuses is my quick thing, and powers are generally your friend. Like, I haven't gotten A10 with him yet, but I like Defect a lot. He's one of my better characters in Slay the Spire 2. And a lot of the success I've had has specifically been with those zero cost decks that center on the card what is it? All for one. Yes, Ascended Venom. That one's going to be a while. Unless a lot of people become really cool with a lot of things really fast. Nebula probably does need a smoother rotation, but the only way I'd like to actually see Nebula get a smoother rotation is if a number of things in her kit change negatively. That Guillotine 2099 synergy is so dumb. That was absolutely a mistake. Yeah, Venom does so much damage. The Guillotine 2099 one. So yeah, the Proxima one lets Nebula start with charges, right? The Guillotine 2099 one says that when a robot is immune to a dot, they gain a bar of power. And if you are running the recoil masteries, which Nebula is really good with because it's basically all attack, she's immune to both of the debuffs, then that means you start the fight with a bar of power. So if you run Nebula, Proxima, and Guillotine, and you use a power start boost, then you can start the fight with Nebula at half ramp and 2 bars of power. And then, after you ramp her the rest of the way and you throw a special 2, you get full benefit from recoil because she's so good at running recoil. You get all of that extra attack. She has no attack mods in her kit, so it all goes into those shocks that she's applying on the special 2. And if the opponent can be shocked, they are probably dead. It's not the easiest Trinity the Path, but if we released a 7-star Nebula tomorrow with no changes, you would be seeing it in Alliance War. Ever is a long time, Erisham. You know what I'm gonna say. Open those 4 stars and 5 stars. Nah, I leave them for the trade-in. When the Summoner Sigil store rolls around. And yet you ask me anyway. Yeah, that makes sense, Steve. I would open them if I didn't. Yeah, that's logical enough, Dragonflies. We'll see. Fights take 8 or 9 times as long when I miss that opening parry. He is, Jack, but I think he's a relatively reasonable powerhouse, right? And he wasn't like seeing a ton of use. I think he was pretty underrated. And if we feel like we can deal with him if he gets out of control, he does things we want in the class, and he's underrated, then that's a pretty perfect Ascension candidate. I'm pretty sure Doom is confirmed. If not, like, oops, but I'm pretty darn sure. Yeah, somewhat related to the Black Panther discussion that we just had, Arch. Like, I do think Scream is very strong, but she is fairly interactable. And I don't think she's seeing the most use right now. And so, like, that is a pretty reasonable Ascension candidate. Plus, it's not going to be, there aren't going to be that many people with A2. And that blunts the impact. Okay. So 2 more. I will actually get that when I get there. That's nice. And ooh, if I can rank up only 4 more people, then I get that. All right, what gems do I have? Look at this. So I just opened a couple. 2 Mystic, 1 Cosmic. Hey, Cares, welcome. Is exactly why it's there, Arishem. Hmm. I don't really do favorites. Sorry. I don't think it's particularly productive to have um, someone in my position comment on favorites, but also it's not really how I am. It's like my moods are changeable. You know, it is okay to use your SIGs. Oh, I know. But using the low level ones is such a chore. Whoops, not that. Nice, Dilly. Where do I get a 7-star OG Scarlet Witch? I believe that was for Alliance War, for being in Masters for a few seasons. Should I take up my natural Sig 200 plat pool? Or should I do something useful? Um, I'll take up Ronin in honor of Black Tarantula. Plenty of these. Yeah. What determines if a champion who's getting ascended also gets buffed? First and foremost, dev time. I know that's not a satisfying answer, but that is the single most important thing. All right, how far am I off of 200 rank 3s? Pretty far. Okay, that's fine. I'm kind of surprised I have anything to use that on. There's not really a reason to keep them, but there's also not really a reason to use them. More of a reason for these, for sure. Can't comment, Cam. The $50 progression bundle. I mean, yeah, but sometimes insane value is a good thing. There are no plans for further Battlecast. How is she not awakened? That's kind of silly. Whatever, doesn't matter. Can't use that, right? Yep. Yeah, I don't think there's anything important for me to use right now. Cool. Was this the orange and yellow item somebody was asking about? Or maybe this one? Sorry, Steve. Probably not, Scroller. We had enough of those for a while. Okay. Oh, I mean, that's just future proofing. Hey, Jim, how's it going, dude? All right, are there any tough ones in here? Taskmaster's a little annoying. Groot is also moderately annoying. Let's make sure we don't use a nullifier for Angela. The rest of these should be fine. Thanks, Jim. I really like him. To your question, Steve, because I saw the ad call out. Yeah, there are no current plans for more battle casts. No. I appreciate that. That was helpful. I instantly got the point. What the channel points do? I have no idea. It's probably something that I'm supposed to set up that I haven't. That hurt. That's an interesting nickname, Erishan. No, I was like, okay, I just have to wait. Make sure that I wait for a stable block against this because he loves to do that, and that probably lost me the fight. No. Alright. Maybe I have to actually rank 3 werewolf. I'll try just using Dracula instead for now. Jerk. Oh, werewolf is very, very good. I... Jesus, dude. Reason you're going for medium enders for werewolf to generate more power. Am I forgetting something? Ah, I forgot that the Light 4 does that. Yeah, thanks for the shout. Been a while. Thanks for the follow, Garvin. Yeah, werewolf is very, very good. Feels like it used to be everywhere. Yeah, I got his ascension stuff in the track. Very helpful. Yeah. Pixie will definitely be solid for him. Interact with Figure, it gets bigger. It is multiplicative, right? Like, it's after crit damage gets determined. But before the damage gets boosted by Vigor. Oh, that sucks, Arch. I will say, though, if it hasn't been resolved now, probably not going to happen. Yeah, Mojo's not going to make this happen. Jesus. Alright, not even close. Cool. Alright, time to do rank 3 werewolf. I don't have enough actual mystic attackers, clearly. Or I guess rank 4 him. Oh, that's expensive. That's annoying. Maybe he can do it as he is. Toughest glass tower? Might be Mystic. Like, a lot of them just are so utility oriented that if the opponent isn't feeding them buffs, they have a terrible time. And clearly, I was a grade A moron for not pushing as far as possible with Wolf while he was still in the full moon. I knew she was going to back up and then throw that. Really glad I caught it this time. That's not enough. Yeah, the problem is it's just going to cost me a lot in terms of... I guess I have weeks before Black Tarantula comes out. I could also just pay units for it. That right there is what I need. Yeah, but I've got some units to go through another Alliance Coliseum. Like, I should be okay. All right. How many decimals are in the back end damage calculations? A lot. Like a lot, a lot. I don't remember, but it's like when you see might tick up over time, it's just like a constant barrage of decimals ticking up. Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you, Arch. Certainly not going to by the war, but it's just difficult after this much time. The rank certainly made the difference. No, I know, I know. I definitely don't blame you for not giving up on it. Because that seriously sucks. Yeah, Dilly. Like, I'll get more Radiance. Essential will reset. I'll get more Tier 7 basic. It's fine, but that heavy didn't take. Please be passive. Thank you. Okay, that could have gone better. Thanks, Play. Glad to hear that. Thanks, Arch. I mean, we're being careful with the Marisham. Don't want to oversaturate the design space. Oops, we lost the Incinerate faster than I thought. That's unfortunate. Yeah, the Sunspot interaction with Yelena is cool, agreed. How many decimal, or, oh, I already answered that one. I've noticed a lot of champions like Werewolf are still great, but that's because there's so many champions, the competition is stacked. Yeah, it happens. It's part of the reason that we do stuff like sagas and tactics and all of that, right? There's just, it's a big game these days. If I lose this because Taskmaster was a jerk at the start, I'm going to be very annoyed. Nope, I'm just going to lose it because of that. Cool. Yeah, I'm not going to get back enough health here. Dead. Boop. Oh, I'm only running 1 point here. Still not going to get back enough, but... Yeah, no time. God, that's so annoying. And I lost all... Okay, just... Giant middle finger to you, buddy. I did design Absorbing Man, yeah. Whew. I don't have an answer on the negative physical resist thing, like, because it wasn't my design, but my guess is it's probably because science champions have physical damage. And it gives them a place to punch through the protection. Wonder how many keys Taskmaster has claimed. Probably a good chunk. That's okay, Tyler. I'm glad you enjoy him so much. Fractured Power Bar is a hassle on PC? Yes. No, it absolutely is. How do you play on PC? I don't like it as much. Some people do, but I feel like the medium inputs in particular are just slightly different enough that bothers me. But other than that, it does work pretty well, right? Because the what you call it? Excuse me, I need to get to special 2. The controller inputs do work quite well. No! I didn't mean to back up there. Speaking of inputs. Yeah, I should have just special one. I wasn't thinking that through. Yeah, I also use a PlayStation controller when I can on PC, and it works pretty well. Yeah, like you can do it on keyboard, and some people like that, and it's not bad. But I prefer the controller. Neither of them feel as good as iPad to me. That was rude. I can cast my laptop to my TV and play on my TV. You can. You do have to worry about lag. Because that casting connection needs to be very good. But you can do that, and I have done it, and the game looks pretty cool on a big screen. Oh, I know you exist. Some of my coworkers are keyboard enjoyers. And I playtest with keyboard a fair amount of the time, honestly. Like, I've done it too. It's just not my favorite. That'll do. I love the iPad so much for this game. Yes, you can hook up a PlayStation 5 controller to a laptop. That's my go-to. You just need the right cord. But if your laptop has a USB-C, then that works. Oh my god, the freaking taunts. Oh my god. I thought that was a heavy attack. Thank you, Sassy, for clutching that out, because I sure didn't. Wireless works. It's just I find the connection is a little bit more annoying to set up. But yes, you absolutely can do it wireless too through Bluetooth. Whoops. Meant to do the special one, but that's fine. It's not the end of the world. Indeed, Arsham. I actually tried. The first design for Deathless Thanos was like the most health in the game. But then I was going through it and like I added the protection mechanic and the healing, and we were like, nah, we can just make him large. He doesn't need to be largest. Okay. I don't know that this one's happening. Because I'm not sure Man Thing and Blade can punch up even 30, let alone 35. Can't play on my laptop. I need Windows. Ah, if you want to play on your laptop, yeah, I guess that controller might have problems. Thanks, Chaos. I swear I've seen people use PlayStation controllers on their Mac, though. Yeah, no, Venom is dumb. Just don't know if I... Like, there's almost no buffs here, right? That's the problem. Like, maybe Nico can take Civil Warrior, but I'm not sure. Destroyer's gonna need somebody with short animations. This is probably okay. Oh, we still have Kindred. Okay. This is probably okay. Let's see. You can definitely not do the tower I am doing right now with rank 1 7 stars now. Can't even download from Steam. Really? Are you on Mac? No. Okay, I'm gonna try the double special 3. See if I can do it that way. Oh, right. No. Yeah, because MCOC doesn't work on Mac. Yep. Oh, I lost so many shocks right at the end there. I really got baited. Nope. Okay, I'm gonna try Wolf there. That's frustrating, though. No, that's not enough either. Mm. Yeah, a Titan Abyss Nexus is dumb. Give me 10 champion or 10 options out of an 18 character crystal. Why? Oh, no, that's not even what I wanted to hit. Okay, well, now we're definitely dead. Yeah, without the special one Torment, those are bad. They're just bad. That was a mistake. Hi, Carlos. Yeah, like, can you imagine how tilted you would be paying the necessary premium for an Abyss Nexus Titan and then not getting the one or two characters that you're probably happy with if that's the kind of selection you feel like you need? That's what I get for missing a parry, but jeez. Okay, so he can't do this either. I've never really felt like Sunspot's animations are long until right now. 2% hurts. I'm not going to replace Longshot or with Nico with Longshot because isn't Civil Warrior immune to Fate Seal, which is just a wee bit of a problem for somebody like Longshot? Also, Nico is not fast enough to punch up 35 without the opponent having some source of buffs. So that's the other reason she's there. Take care, though. Woo! That one stung. I say stung, but no, that was good. That was good. All right. Yeah, we should be able to do this just with heavy counters. Get to one more special 2. There we go. Thank you, Tigra. No, I get it. You're good to answer, or you're good to ask. Let me double check and make sure. I know Civil Warrior is immune to Nullify. Let me make sure it also is Fate Seal. Actually, Longshot could take him. I was wrong. So Longshot would be fine for Civil Warrior. It would just take him a little bit longer to ramp up there. But like I said, the reason Nico is up there is that I don't think Nico can take anybody else on this list, punching up 35. Noted, Jack. That is helpful. Oh, that would have been really bad if he had just thrown the special instead. I don't know if this is enough. Looks like it might be. Heck yeah, thank you. Oh. Yeah, no, I'm not worried about Nico there, Austin. I was saying I don't think she can take anybody else. But I appreciate the confirmation. If you could stop sidestepping me, that'd be awesome, dude. And I'm not really worried because White Tiger has one of the highest CRs that we've gotten here, but it probably is mastery dependent, but I always run full stupefy. So it's still a good call out. Alright, well, my new spiral was a nuke, so that's nice. Alright, one more. Ooh, would have been really nice to crit there. Yeah, sure. These are the rewards. No, Shocker doesn't have base block pen. What you're feeling is the way that he reduces your armor, because you're used to blocking other characters with the full benefit of armor. And Shocker says, no, 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 you don't get that. You actually basically have an invisible armor break at all times. Tough. No, Tier 5 Alpha is higher up. I'm not sure I've gotten any from it. Kindred should have no problems. I just need to do the rotation right. Alright, 2 more punishments. Ooh, I don't know if I can get through that region. Please die. Thank you. Oh, that was rough. Thanks for stopping by, Andre. Appreciate you hanging out. I'll be back in the future. That's my boy. Yeah, like the fact that he can do that to regen and prowess with no counter is just silly. I should 100% be blocking all of his specials. Ouch. That's fine. Theories are good. But I need to lean more into the Blood Mage thing for Nico. That definitely could have been faster. Yeah, no, she did great. That was plenty. Okay. No way. I would need to punch up 45 with 3 champions. Not going to happen. I have clear actionables for this, though, right? Like, Sasquatch, Chavez, Witch can all go to rank 4, and then this becomes more doable. But not going to happen for now. Cull is going to be decent food for somebody. Maybe we can assume something like this after some future rank ups. I don't know that Carl can punch up this much either. Oh, you know what? He probably needs to go for Morningstar for the free ramp. That should work. Then maybe we can do Destroyer for Falcon later, but this will let us get through the first few floors, and then those precious points will help. Nice, what's good. Yeah, no, this stuff gets really difficult up here, and that's okay. That's the point. Gives me something to work towards, even with characters that I am not using in War or Battlegrounds, and that is the whole point. So I am happy about it, but yeah, this one is definitely my wall. 45 is just so difficult. Like, this might not even be possible. And I'm not sure I could have played this better. Pavita versus Rogue sucks? Why? That one seems fine. I mean, I don't think Kindred's doing that, but Kindred also can be A2 later, and if he's A2, he should be fine. My highest is Science at 76. I mean, that's good. Need A2 Kindred for this one? Yeah. It'll happen. I'm not concerned. I'm just going to get the points that I can out of this because the only way I'm ever seeing this one is after the monthly reset, and so I'm just not fussed about it. So, Gawain, the opponent's CR on this floor is 280. Longshot is rank 4. That means his CR is 230. That means Longshot does 0 damage. Literally 0. The only way Longshot even has a chance against any of these is if I rank 5 him, and then punching up 40, I think the only one he could possibly do is Culm. And that's a maybe. Are you not running Stupefy on your build? What's good? I wonder if maybe that's the issue. Hopefully enough to get top 75%. Yeah, that'd be cool. All right, this will be fine. Casual 3 million damage. Spiral's so insane. Oh, that's funny, Steve. Do I have infinite points? Is that why it's fine for you to do this? Oh, I have infinite points because it's my channel. That makes sense. That's probably not what y'all are saying. Running Stupefy, but I was trying to play the match in the center. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I think, oh, crud, I didn't even mean to do this one. And getting hit, that's fine. I think with Paviter, when you're worried about speed, you do need to actually put them in the corner. The center is the control play for somebody like Serpent. Okay, I need to get back into the top 150, which means I think I need to make some progress on science. I remember I had trouble with this one because of Cyclops. I don't know if Luke can punch up this much, but let's give it a shot. I swear I've lost some keys today. Thanks for the follow. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, if I had gone for another light there instead of doing a medium after 2 lights, I would have lost. That is as tight as it can possibly get. Oh, jeez. Yeah, Steve, exactly. Tower rating is permanent. Stuck at 88 because my rank 4s can't punch up 40. My rank 5s, most rank 5s can't. Solvark into a mutant is one I've heard of, but it's generally fine if they can't. Dang. I was really hoping for these power sticks to do more damage. But I think this last one should get him. Just get up and thank you. Well done, Peter. Nice, dude. Good luck to you. So we get all the rewards again? No, those are just one time. I've only punched up once so far, and that was abusing the Okoye lock. Yep, that makes sense. Whew. That was perfect, but that was close. I don't agree with you there. Like, the only reason you feel like your rank 5s aren't viable is because you've been incredibly successful. Like, if you're within spitting distance of clearing block 92, you are crushing it, dude. That means your rank 5s have been viable. They're just not as viable as the ascended characters. The purple numbers are collectives bonus damage, so you need your collectives to be a certain level. Have you leveled up your collectives at all, Garain? That's impressive, Austin. Good job. Hell yeah. Well done, Sandman. Yeah, I think Necro's worth doing. And I mean, I'm biased because I enjoy Necro quite a bit, but yeah, I think it's definitely worth the rewards. I have no idea, Jonathan. It's tough when ranks aren't linear, but 83 sounds pretty good. I don't really have any way to link collectives and prestige because they're not super the same thing. But yeah, if you're at 25k prestige, then you probably have some room to grow there, so that makes sense. Oh, this one's going to be tough to punch up. Please be enough. Double trauma. Thank you. Okay. Glad I baited the specials and let it pause. Oh. Yeah, that makes sense. What's good for sure. Madeline's nuts. Yeah, that checks out, Mo. So many units. I mean, try and plan the fights as well as you can to mitigate that, but I get it. Jerk. Yeah, and that's because at that point, your other R5s are having to punch up 40, right? What's good? And like 40 is intended to be almost impossible. But that means that you are doing really well, right? I don't see that as a problem, personally. I don't really think that way, Gawain. I don't think I really have a least favorite class these days. They're all doing good things. It's definitely not science, I'll tell you that. What's your issue with science? I don't know if that was perfect, but that was pretty good with Spot. I'm definitely getting the hang of him. Nah, science champions are not weak. That just means you haven't figured them out yet. Well, but how would that be the case? What's good? How would that be the case without that also being a floor where your ascended characters work, right? Like, how would you build something where the non-ascension rank fives feel good that isn't just also good for the ascended ones? They don't have burst damage, they rely more on buffs? No, that's not true in either sense. Unless you're saying, I mean, if you're saying cosmics don't have burst damage, that's not true. If you're saying science don't have burst damage, that's not true. Both classes have buffs, so I'm not fully following you. That hurt. 13 rank 5s won. Those all sound pretty manageable, yeah, Fluid. Going on with the Crucible, no rewards show, but also looks not fun. Um, there are definitely rewards for the Crucible. I'm not sure exactly where to find them these days. Yeah, I don't know if this is happening. That would require High Evolutionary to punch up 35. He might be able to against like one of these. How big is Jack's health pool? If you think science is weak and you have a rank 5 photon, then I'm sorry. That means you do not know how to play photon. She specifically does ramp in a fight, so she's not going to be as strong out of the gate, but she is incredibly strong. Okay, where is old Pumpkinhead? There he is. Okay, he's like decently there. Let's see, Venom Pool's probably further up. I'm trying to figure out who is the smallest health pool because that's who I want to use High Evolutionary for. Looks like Kang's might be smaller. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, there he is. Okay, Kang's is smaller. All right, you're gonna fight Kang because he also doesn't really move forward. That sounds like a good time. Would Black Tarantula, a skill champion, counter Serpent? Is there anything in his kit that makes you think he would counter Serpent? Like, he's primarily evade based, Casey. Juan, if you're not going to listen, please don't do all caps. Come on, dude. It has a question mark? Interesting. I don't remember exactly what the rewards are for the Crucible now. I get it. What's good, but I'm encouraging you to try and frame it differently. Because by the time a regular rank 5 is trying to punch up 40, like, you've done well. That's fine. You've already unlocked like over 100,000 radiance for yourself every month for a long time. They don't need to do more than that, in my opinion. All right, heal reversal. You can put Sandman against Jack. We should be able to clear this one. Because if I remember correctly, some of the rewards for the Crucible were specifically in an objective, Steve, which is what part of that is. Because that objective will have since expired. But there should still be something for it. Ooh, I don't know if this is gonna work. No, he's too far away. Oh, that sucks. Okay. I don't know that Sandman can do that then. Jack doesn't have some kind of physical resistance, does he? That would be silly. No, he doesn't. Maybe Sandman just can't punch up 35. But if so, then I'm kind of out of luck here. Oh, maybe I... Okay. Maybe I should be using Sandman specifically on Anti-Venom and Special 1 spamming for the extra damage. And I can use Reed on somebody like Venom Pool. Bro, I'm blocking! That sucks, because that just means I die. Yeah. Just didn't expect the wall. Yeah, that's how it's always going to be. There's always going to be a wall up ahead. I get you. Okay, let's make that swap. I like towers until I get stuck. uh, I get it, but part of the point is to eventually get stuck. Nope. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Double up sounds wrong, Fluid. How's it going, Tris? One second. Pulling up the text. Yeah, I wouldn't call that doubling your damage cash out. Like, it's good for sure, but your best damage is your special 2, which is incinerate passives. And you're not refreshing those. How? Okay, there is definitely a bug. Oh, no, wait. No, because I did lose that one. Never mind. That's make that. I feel like I'm buying more keys than I should be, but I haven't been keeping strict track. How is that a bummer? What you were hoping for was, by the way, if you bring this synergy and you have a striker, you do double the normal damage that he was tuned around? No, thank you. That's fine. No, I should have baited another heavy. Yeah, if I'd baited another heavy, I would have gotten to another special too, and we would have been fine. Okay, that one's doable. Yeah, you and me both, Kurd. Ugh. Oh, I am so much further away this time. Okay, I must have had nice crit luck the first time. That stinks. I figure anybody would be bummed. I don't know about that, dude. Personally, I'd be pretty worried if that's how it worked, even if I wasn't a developer. I really have to pay attention. No, I hit the... I hit the striker button. That's very frustrating. That first one had all the best RNG. And I'm sorry, I just don't agree that heal block, parry non-contact, and block unblockable isn't relevant for modern threats. No. Ah. Okay. I'm done beating my head against that wall. Wonder if Bill can do it. I didn't have him up last time I did this. All right, bravo, Bill. That's not the point, dude. Like, are you really gonna tell me that unblockable is not a modern threat? Are you gonna tell me that parry not con or that like non-contact attacks is not a modern threat? Like, that's the premise there, and I just don't agree. Oops. I probably shouldn't have bothered with this. So the only way I have any hope of Corvus really being good here. And also, I don't know why that dropped my block and started running forward when I was definitely holding that side of the screen. The only hope I have of him doing anything here is if I can get Maker to evade, I think. Yeah, and then if he had any hope of coming back online, then that would do it. But just knocking down costs too much. Yes, you do want the Thor relic on Bill. Why? Oh, you're telling me. Yeah. I don't know why I don't have that. Anyway, top 130, that's good. Okay, someone said my eye doom didn't have a relic on it. Clearly does not. No idea when that happened. Ugh, I really need to optimize my relics. Yeah, that can come off. Weird that Bill is not on the recommended list for that one. Oh, yeah, that can come off Star-Lord for sure. We can put that on iDoom. And then give something to Star-Lord. Yeah, that works. Ooh, and I need something on Warlock. You'd want some kind of crit rate? That's something. That's not great, but that's something. We'll do this for now. No, you want a 6-star relic because you want the spirit. Hmm. Okay, that'll work for now. Yeah, I really need to clean up relics later. That's fine, not for now. What's Hobgoblin's utility? He has Instinct, Steadfast, and Heal Block, all of which are pretty easy to get up. Why do I have a title saying Kabam? Because I work at Kabam. I'm a champion designer who built, among others, Paviter, Blue Marvel, Patriot. I did some updates to Captain America, but he wasn't mine. I did the Black Panther rework. I did Absorbing Man. I did Thanos. Scrolling. I did Kushala. I did Nico. I did Serpent, Jean Grey, Photon. And then Kate isn't out as a 6-star. Am I missing somebody? There's the Luke Cage rework. I feel like I missed somebody in there. Oh, I left out Deathless She-Hulk. I guess. I definitely don't refer to myself as the DLL. Yeah, and my point fluid, and it's okay. Like, we're not gonna resolve this right now, is that I am not interested in going through the game and going like, well, here's a place where unblockable is good, and then let's come up with the exact situations in which you want Hobgoblin over somebody else. I'm just not going to devote my time to that. My point is that you said his utility is barely relevant for the modern threats, and I just don't think that is true. Because I think that is good modern utility, right? Like, if Steadfast is good on Patriot and has come up in more places than we originally intended, then it's probably going to be good on Hobgoblin. If Heal Block is something that does come up, and it does, then it's probably going to come up on Hobgoblin. If Carolina's Instinct, if Ironheart's Parry Non-Contact have come up in a bunch of places, then it's going to come up on Hobgoblin. That's my point. People are talking about DLL in a Legacy video. Yeah, he doesn't charge me rent in his brain. It's fine if you are struggling a little bit. My point is just that I think time will tell on him. And if he doesn't measure up, then sometimes there are misses. But I just feel like it is too early to make that particular call. Ah, okay. Sorry. I feel kind of bad for that shade now. I've been mentioned in a lot of Legacy videos. But yes, Black Tarantula is my design. That makes me feel bad, but it would make me feel worse if there wasn't a reason for it. Yeah, people in the comments. That makes sense. I'm assuming there was probably some complaints about turning off masteries or something. That's the usual stuff. Say lovey. Who do I like Black Tarantula for the most out of them? Um, he was aimed mostly at them. But like he's decent for basically anyone who doesn't stop evade, right? Like I wouldn't use him for Thanos because even though the halt is there, the panic means that you lose his best weapon. Not a good idea. He'd be pretty good for Idoom, right? Because you can cut through the crit resistance. The halt counters Idoom's passively unstoppable when his aura thing is up. That's good. Like anyone who spams debuffs on you and then tries to use them against you is good. I think Null is an okay matchup, but you do lose combat power rate, and that's not awesome because Null is basically a mutant champion in disguise in that sense. Iron Man is probably fine. Yeah, there's a number of them. Yes, I have made that point several times, Aiden, and I completely agree with you. And part of the reason I agree with you is because that was literally one of the things that we talked about for Hobgoblin, right? Like in the meta planning meeting. I, I yeah, I'm just realizing this was actually something that I said. I said we have a lot of techs who can block unblockable specials. We have a lot of techs that people die with when they get hit by unblockable basics. Because as far as I can remember, I don't think that in the entire tech class, I'm not sure anybody else has just block unblockable, period. Right? Arcade gets it sometimes when he auto blocks. I do remember that. Lady Deathstrike, when she heal blocks mutants specifically, can turn off unblockable. Bastion has anti-unblockable protection, right, with his self-repair. Solvark can kind of do it, but with the cost of a resource, and so it's up sometimes and it's not up others. Yeah, and then there's a number of block unblockable specials. But like just plain unblockable, anti-unblockable all the time, as long as you make sure to get it up, is pretty unique in the class. And will he be the tech that everybody reaches for all the time? I don't know. Maybe not. Um, but that is absolutely something he has that is pretty darn unique, and I do think it will end up mattering. That's pretty affirming to hear. Yeah, you get 10 points to Gryffindor. Heyo. Did I design the other champion? Yes, I did design Black Tarantula. And hold on, before I forget, because I will forget before my next. just signing up and updating my next champion tracker because somebody called that out, and that is something I should do. Why is block unblockable so much better than fear? I didn't necessarily say it was, but fear is ability accuracy, and block unblockable is not. So that is one reason why you would prioritize it. All right, that's probably gonna reset the overlay. Yep, but there you go. You have a date for Zimbargo? I know what it is. I'm not allowed to share it. Embargo dates are themselves under embargo. Okay, I think I'm okay on Essentia purchases for this week. Radiance just reset, so it's going to be a while. I'm not going to grab anything there for now, because I may need to spend more of it there. I wish I could remember what the Coliseum rewards are, but I'll think about that. Yep. I said this on a previous stream, but I am taking a short break from, I guess maybe from y'all's perspective, not short, but I'm taking a break from champion design to work on some other stuff. That's true, Misty, because normally the pre-release bundles and the embargo dates are pretty closely aligned. Hi. Very excited to see the other stuff. I'm pretty excited about the other stuff too. Okay, I'm gonna call it here because Jesus, this was a long stream and I need to go eat. But thank you all. I'll talk to you soon. Sorry, Blair. All right, thank you everybody. Gonna close down the YouTube one, find somebody to raid.